Hello, my name is Christian Saints here, and welcome to this tutorial on using Labour Market Online. We created this website, this sort of interactive community, as an opportunity to provide a one-stop shop for career professionals in British Columbia who have all the labour market information they need, basically saving people in job search, people who are doing career counseling, people who are trying to make a career decision, or students, dozens of hours of just hopeless research. So it's very easy to use. We just start off by going www.labourmarketonline.com, and immediately we are put into the main screen. I'm going to click on Login. Now I'm already logged in, but mostly at this time you'd have an opportunity to either put in your own password and your own email address to set up your profile, or if you're a regular member, you can say already have a password and click on that and immediately get into the website. Then it brings you to our membership gateway site. And so what this allows us to do is to gather information immediately. So we click on BC Labour Market Online. Immediately we're brought into the Labour Market directory. Now what makes Labour Market Online very different than other websites is if you go to WorkBC, they've got great information, but it's all WorkBC information. If you go to the Canada Job Bank, it's great information, but it's all related to the job bank. Same thing with the Conference Board of Canada or the BC Business Council or Go2HR. These are great resources. They put together great information, but they don't collect information from other websites. Our idea here is to gather all labour market information from multiple resources, and so we have literally thousands of pieces of information that we're constantly updating on a regular basis. In fact, if I click on breaking news as an example, it immediately brings us to all of the breaking news that we've been following. And so we've divided it up into research information that is about reports and studies and new information, business information, companies that are hiring, changing what they're doing, new recruitment practices, things like that, and government. So whether it's the federal government, the provincial government, local government, when they're enacting new policies, changing what they're doing, introducing new programs, we catalog it all here. And so what we have here is links to all sorts of different resources that people can immediately click on. So here we have healthcare. Canadian doctors say political activism is part of their job, so certainly something interesting to somebody who wants to get into the healthcare sector. We click on the link, and immediately we have an article here that links back, and we can always just close it off and go back to the website. And so we literally have thousands of different links of research that we're coming up with on a regular basis that we think would be of interest to career counselors. But let's say you want to be a little more specific, so we'll go to Return to LMI Directory. And so the sections that we've divided up to here is we have breaking news, understanding the labour market, BC occupations and industries, video and workshop curriculum, BC labour market podcasts, labour market research and reports, occupational research, apprenticeship, education and training, networking organizations and businesses, career planning, exclusive BC labour market report publications, and self-employment. And so every sort of major topic area that people would want to understand. And so if we're starting off and wanting to have a better sense of the labour market or sort of larger research that's out there, we can click on Understanding Labour Market Information, and we immediately have subtopics of the economy and job creation, population and demographics, client inclusion groups, communities in BC, cost of living calculator. And so we can click on any one of those, and suddenly we have immediate information divided up to employment readiness for people with multiple barriers, francophones, immigrants, Indigenous people. Each one of these is clickable. We also have websites, so anybody who's interested in any one of these areas or assisting people in one of these areas, you can click on any one of these and gather immediate information. So that's how client inclusion groups goes, but it would be the same for population and demographics. If a person wanted to get a sense of what is British Columbia all about, here are the large statistical reports and all our top 10 research sites. We've organized it in a similar way for most sections. One of the most interesting of which is BC occupations and industries. In putting this together, we wanted to focus on industries in one section, but we felt that occupations were indelibly linked to that. So for instance, if we click on construction as an example, we immediately get our construction page. We have the 5 fastest growing jobs in the construction sector. We have dozens and dozens of construction websites that people can link on to be able to gather more information. So they just simply click on one of those sites and it immediately brings it up. We're constantly reviewing these websites to make sure that they're current and they have the latest information. We also have recent news. So here's an article just from yesterday. Site C sees more increases in employment during the month of August. And so we're constantly gathering information about the construction sector or any industry that we're looking at and updating it. We also have industry research. So this is research dedicated to the particular sector that we're talking about here. It's construction. And so, for instance, we can look at the BC Builders Code Employer Toolkit. It's a brand new resource that came out in the last year, and we immediately have access to that information. So I think what we've done is a great job of being able to help people on an industry by industry basis better understand the resources that are available to them. And as you can see, we've covered off the 18 separate industries that the province tracks. So accommodation and food service, agriculture, business building and support service, construction, education, finance, insurance, real estate and leasing, fishing, hunting and trapping, forestry and logging support activities, health and social services, information, culture and recreation, manufacturing, mining, oil and gas, other services, professional, scientific, technical services, public administration, transportation and warehousing, utilities, and wholesale and retail. So it's a really good cross-section of all the major industries in British Columbia. Back to the main section, we also have video curriculum. So we find, as an example, people are always struggling to find labor market information and resources. And so as 2 examples, we've got 2 great training sessions that are just automatically uploaded. The first one is Pitchmasters, which is a great way of introducing the labor market to new Canadians or people for whom English is their second language. The video is 28 minutes, but it comes with a PowerPoint presentation and a Pitchmasters lesson guide. We also have Understanding Labor Market Information, which is my own presentation, 35 minutes, on everything a person would need to better understand the labor market. Now, this works great if you're in Vancouver, but if a person's in a small community, I find that the 35 minutes for the presentation nicely ties into a smaller presentation on the local labor market that the facilitator can offer. For this, we also have a PowerPoint presentation. So if a person doesn't want to use the video, they can just use the PowerPoint presentation, a lesson guide, and even an icebreaker that we've built in. So our objective here is to use these videos and new videos to be able to always help career professionals stay on top of the latest information and be able to present that to their clients. We go back to the main menu. We have information on, we have podcasts, the latest research and reports, so we are constantly staying on top of new research and reports and putting that out for people immediately so they can go on and click on and see what's new. Occupation research, so if a person isn't interested in a specific occupation but they want to be able to research all occupations, we have links and resources there. Links and resources for apprenticeship and education and training, again with top 10 research sites, that sort of thing. Networking businesses and organizations, tools and resources for people to become better networkers, which we found that anyone, whether it's a young person in the labor market for the first time, wanting to better explore the labor market, or somebody who's new to the country or somebody with a disability, that networking piece is really so important. And then career planning resources. There's thousands of great resources, some that are British Columbia specific, some that are tailored to everybody in North America, and we've gathered all these resources into one place to help people out. And then of course self-employment. You know, if you were to ask somebody what is the fastest growing occupation in British Columbia's labor market, I would say hands down it's self-employment. So we have a lot of great resources, thousands of different links and reports and research, but we've also put in things into Labor Market Online that a person can't get anywhere else. So these are things that we have personally published and are only available on Labor Market Online. So as an example, we can look at all of the labor market reports. And so here we have all the 2018 weekly reports, all the 2019 weekly reports. We have our own BC Labor Market Employment Services Directory that we produced in the spring that a person can download. We have the most current labor market profiles that we've produced. And again, a person can link on any one of these. So as an example, here's a 2019 report from October 2nd, and immediately be able to get all of the reports immediately at their fingertips and be able to download those in PDF form. So we have all of the reports from 2018, 2019, and some from 2017. Each one of these reports can also be downloaded, as well as our Employment Services Directory, and you just click on it and we immediately get a PDF copy that a person can scroll through and have all the information. And so this is quite literally a listing of every employment service in British Columbia with a description of what those services look like. It's an incredibly valuable resource. If we go back to Labour Market Online and go to the BC Labour Market Report page, click back. So we have all of the labour market reports, but we also have sector information sheets. So those industries that we were talking about earlier, they're really great in terms of being able to help people have those resources on their computer, but sometimes a person in a class or a person in a resource center might want some immediate information that they can put their fingers on. We've produced profiles of all of the major industries in British Columbia, downloadable in PDF form. It includes workforce characteristics, high growth occupations, key points and sector details, average salaries, workforce distribution throughout BC, the average employer size, industry growth for the next 10 years, and research sites. And so by clicking on any one of these, a person can download those profiles and immediately have it on their computer or be able to print it out for someone. And so here is an example of one of the profiles for the manufacturing sector. In addition to the industry information sheets, we also have the labor market guide. So we have the 2018 edition currently uploaded on the website, and so a person can immediately download a copy of it. But we will have the 2019 version uploaded before the end of the year. In addition to this, we have the BC Job Search Guide, which is a guide that we've written specifically to assist people who are doing job search in British Columbia, and for each one we have a video and a worksheet. All of that is available online, as is the BC Education and Training Guide, which we produced. And what's interesting about the BC Education and Training Guide is it's linked here in the Education and Training section. Of course, we have the top 10 research websites, and all the research and reports that are related to the education sector. But what's interesting about the Education and Training Guide is it brings together both public and private schools, which is a goal and objective that no one has ever really tackled in employment services before. And so we think that's a really valuable component to this. So those are the BC LMR exclusive resources. If we go back to the directory, on a regular basis, we are constantly updating this information, providing people with the most recent labor market information. And the idea is to save the average career counselor hours of research every single week, or hundreds of hours of research each year in trying to hunt down labor market information. It's a benefit that we provide to all of our subscribers. All the members of Labour Market Online have immediate access for all of their career development staff to this information, as well as our weekly Labour Market hot sheet and monthly copies of the BC Labour Market Report sent to your office. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you are interested in more information, please go to labourmarketonline.com and click on the membership section for more information. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.